What's your favorite gospel song?
Oh shit. What?
What's your favorite gospel song? First off, the better question is, do you listen to gospel music?
I don't listen, but I know a couple. I
Oh,
know some that but then, I know the old school, the original shits like you feel
whatever,
me? Like
whatever touches your soul, brother.
I know shit like what it is, silver and gold. You got shit like I'm saying shit like sorry. You got silver and gold. Of course, anything Kurt Franklin said. Anything. A couple of Yolanda Adams songs. You know, I don't have a favorite. I just know some. But
You don't have a favorite?
I'm gonna just say. I'm gonna go with what's the Kurt Frank? The Rain Down on Me. That
Melodies from Heaven.
That one. Yeah, that Melodies for Heaven. That one. But go ahead though. What happened? Why you asking me that? What happened?
No, that's cool though. That's cool. I just want to know because we all got spirits within our bodies.
Okay.
You feel me? Some may not, tie themselves to a specific religion, but
Okay.
most know that there's a God out there. Every man is chasing God in some way, somehow. Whether when they call it glory, manifestation, just goals, whatever. You feel me? Like you're chasing your purpose,
Right.
which is what God ordained for you, which is God. You feel me? You feel as though if you complete your purpose, you're gonna feel complete. Which if God made you that guy to go complete some shit, then you did His work. You know what I'm saying? You did what He set you out here to do, whatever that may be. But everybody has a spirit, right? So, I'm reading this book. And in this book, the author touches on the creation of man, right?
Okay.
And in text, when you read it in the Bible, it says man was created in God's image, right?
Okay.
So, which is what you look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? When I take a picture of you, that's your image, that's you. So, he says that God created man. They made male and female. So there's a difference between a man male and
I got you.
a female.
I'm following.
Or man female. You know what I'm saying? Or female man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm following. I'm with you.
So by design, by this man's, comprehension of the text. You feel me? And it's more of a book that informs you on things that you can go read those scriptures yourself and meditate on them and get a better understanding. As this person believes they make an understanding of it, which is why they wrote the book. You feel me? They feel like they understand or understand the way of helping you understand your purpose as a man or as men. But this one is geared towards men. But regardless, it's like he's going through the ropes of it. Anyway, so in that explanation, right? He breaks it down as such. God created man, then He made Adam. He directed Adam, and Adam followed. Right? And then He seen Adam was lonely. He wasn't lonely, but he was alone. And He said man was not made to be alone. So He made Eve. But He made Eve out of Adam and let Adam name her. Because Adam was responsible for everything that He placed Adam in charge of, including Eve. So when Eve disobeyed, or when she committed a faulty, it landed on him, because God never spoke to her. He spoke to him. He was supposed to teach her and guide her, and etc., etc. Right? But I say that to say this: God created man and woman, male and female, to both do His bidding, but in different functions, right? Do you think that in some sense, in a weird comprehension of spirits have no gender, so people who feel as though whether they want to be non-binary or they want to change whatever about them, do you feel like outside of a psychological situation that it may be, do you think that it could be a spiritual battle within the body in which maybe their spirit is moving in a way of saying that, hey, I'm not solely this, I'm more than that, or don't look at me as just this in a way.
That where you get your free spirits from. I guess. I mean, that's what. Because I
That's
can't.
that rapper shit, though.
That's
I already
what
got a
you-
pun in his
You
head.
feel me? That's all I'm thinking about. Cause it's like, I mean, cause I get exactly. Cause I was gonna say like, cause what you're saying is more like, cause, right. How you said, cause I hear what you said at the end, but what like you said is like, so you say spirits have no specific gender,
As
it said.
as comprehended by the author of the book that I'm
Okay,
reading.
yeah, as it said in the book.
So not by my agreement, just simply
Okay.
from something that
Okay,
I read
okay,
citing
okay.
my work.
So okay, we're going off of
So,
that then. If we're going off
how-
of spirit have no gender,
How
off
he
of the
broke
book.
it down was this, right? Understand how blessed we are. We're so blessed that God gave us the entire universe, and we're the only ones moving about. As far as we know, we don't know where his other experiments are, but as far as we know, for us, we're moving about doing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when he had the idea for us, he created the universe, then created Earth, which is the best place in the universe that can support this type of,
Activity, living.
living
habitat,
activity.
lifestyle.
You feel me? And then, as spirits, he created. I mean, he still. This is at the point in time where he's still thinking about making man. Then he came to Earth and then created everything, and then said everything was good. Then, when everything was done, he said, "Let me create man." So now, in a sense, God was pregnant with the idea of man. Then created a nursery, which was the Garden of Eden, outside of the world, outside of the universe. He created a nursery in this special place right here. And said, yo, I'm finna start you right here. Create and emulate what I have up here, this great thing. I put that same energy within you to create it here. But as the him that he is, he was pregnant with you, then gave you birth as a spirit with no gender, but then decided, in order for you to do what I can do, you can't just make shit out of dirt. But now this is about my comprehension. You can't just make things out of dirt. You can't make life out of sand. You feel me? You can't just breathe life into things. I can. But what you guys can do is, by separating you two, you guys can come together and create life. And y'all can continue this shit over and over again. You can do exactly what I did. But make sure you create life into a good place as I created.
Yeah, but
So, for my comprehension, as far as the spirit not having an agenda, that's cool. But whatever spirit lands in the body, you have a job. So what I'm asking is,
but if you're a free spirit, then quote unquote. Okay, fuck it. Here we go. If you're a free spirit, right? Here we go. I'm gonna take it far as off of the book, but based on the book. Now, if this is what goes on as far as a spirit landed in a shell,
right?
Meaning the body or whatever the case may be, you have this opportunity, this job, this requirement, this obligation,
Right.
To carry on as this spirit, as what it seems like. Mm-hmm. Meaning, if you land in, you know what it means. As far as the gender go, female, male, whatever the case is. Now, God gave you free will, right?
Right.
Now, with that free will, that free spirit takes advantage of that. And not advantage in a bad way, but they just exercise their right to have free will. Now,
this is where, like, so they have the sense of, you have some people that's more spirit than flesh, you have some people that's more flesh than spirit. You feel the people won't give a fuck about nothing, whatever the case is. It's just right here, right now, and that's all I got to tend to. Not worry about the afterlife shit. They got people that's more spirit. So how they move and however they move is how they move. Right? So in a sense, by my twist of comprehension, it's like your spirit is so consumed by flesh that it's dictating that you should be something else. So which means your spirit is still conflicted because what you are is what you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what if it's not? Because if the spirit is landing in the capsule, then the capsule has no dictation on what the spirit is. If I'm just landing in this shell and I have no dictation on where I land, it's not like it's like, okay, I want to be a female, I'm finna go land in a female body, or I want to be a male, I'm finna go land in a male body. No, I'm finna land wherever
He told me to go.
I'm designated to land. But that still doesn't dictate what I am as a spirit. Now it depends on how you want to go, as far as if you're going to follow the rules, if you're just going to go with what says needs to be done, or if you're going to be that free spirit and exercise your free will. Now, what also comes with free will, we got to also remember what God sent down here with free will when he cast away a certain person from heaven. Free will didn't come down here alone. Neither did he. So with that being said, if you're exercising your free will, quote unquote, from a religious standpoint, then you're exercising your, if you're not being, the people who's usually the free spirited people who's just not following this structured way of living, people tend to look at them in a devilish manner.
I mean, depending on what spiritual people you're talking about.
I'm talking about, no, not spiritual, we're talking about religious. As far as we gonna follow these rules. As far as religious goes, they tend to look down on the ones who don't follow the religious rules, because they're exercising their free will not to. Even though, like you said, even though it's understood that God gave us free will, when you exercise that free will, it's still straying away from God because it's not this path here. He also, because he also gave us a lot of shit that if he created all things, he gave us a lot of things that we're not supposed to do. So free will don't mean that it's godly. He's giving you the option to whether you're going to choose him or you're going to choose earthly things, devilish things. That's how we're looking at it in the religious Christianity standpoint. Earthly things are the devilish things. If you're not following God's thing, as far as no materialistic things and this, that, technically you're exercising your free will because you got the right to, but you're not living a sin-free life, as they would say. Because if you exercising free will, it ain't necessarily the right way. If we're looking at it from if we're talking about free will, we already in a religious, spiritual standpoint.
But not necessarily, by my opinion, because even in practicing free will, within my free will, I'm choosing to do right. That's my free will. Just like you have the choice to do what you do, I have the choice to do what I do. Now, I get what you mean by those who go out and condemn people or anything like that. Condemnation is like to sit there and shame somebody or whatever the case is. That's not, you feel me, and by my opinion, godly. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to act with love at all times. Even if somebody's going astray, you're not supposed to, you can talk to them, you feel me? Like, just like if you going wrong or whatever, I'm gonna sit you down and be like, yo kid, you messing up over it. Yeah. I can have that talk with you. Yeah. But I don't have to chastise you over it. You know what I'm saying? So when people do the whole chastising, when people are more like, you banned from coming here, when there's some weird, you letting the power go to your head over forgiveness and shit like that, that's where, even those people are astray. You feel me? Even those people fall short of glory. You get what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of people have that weird sense of, nah, dog, God ain't gonna forgive me because my pastor don't even forgive me. And this the closest nigga I know to God. But that's that nigga human that won't forgive you. You know what I'm saying? That's his heart that that may not be willing to forgive you for something that might be personal. That might be by his bias uncool. You get what I'm saying? Like if a drug dealer wants to go talk to a pastor, but the pastor like, I don't talk to drug dealers. Yo, what you talking about? I need somebody to holler at. No, don't come to my church with that stuff. What?
Yeah, but
you get what I'm saying?
I mean,
or even a nigga old girl. If your old girl very religious and now, you you out here, you going through the world, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now when you do try to, holler at her, talk to us or shit like that, she don't talk to you because you a junkie on the street, as the Zoes would say.
Mm-hmm.
To the extent that
You fighting your own battle type shit.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I get you disapprove what I'm doing, but let me talk to you to explain to you why I feel like I have to do it. Maybe you'll convince me. Maybe the few words that you can say in a nice way, or out of love rather, could actually convince me to get out the streets.
But like I said, it goes back to if they that deep into it, they looking at you as you a devilish form. You're not of the godly way.
But that's what I'm
off the rip. You fell into some earthly things. Like, keep in mind, or whatever the case may be, that even though we say that, or it's understood that he created everything, this and that, all these other things like that, there's still his way. Even though he gave you the free will by creating everything, you have a choice. That's why we know right from wrong. So the free will is to choose right from wrong at the end of the day, because we all know what it is. If we know right from wrong, we got the free will. Because we got the free.
Got a story on that too.
We got the free will to not. We got the free will to not do it.
But you got the story on that too. Now, with the notion of he gave you the garden. He also planted this garden, but he told you not to eat from this. I mean, he gave you this garden. He also planted the specific tree and then told you not to eat from that tree. Right? So
exactly.
Now a lot of people would debate, well, why'd you tempt me? Right? But here's the thing.
I gotta know your loyalty.
But here's the thing, right?
I gotta know your loyalty.
But now here's how the story is broken down within the book. You feel me? Maybe through Genesis somebody might draw their own conclusion the same way as they read how the story went down. Eve was approached by the serpent. The serpent asked her, did God really say you couldn't eat from this tree? And she said, God said that we can't eat from... Oh, she said, I was told that we can eat from everything in the garden except from the tree of knowledge. Or we will surely die. And the serpent replied, you will not die. You will simply gain knowledge and be like God. And by convincing her, or however somebody would perceive it, she took the fruit, she ate it, she brought some to Adam, he ate it, in a sense of believing that, hey, you wouldn't do anything, by comprehension, not by verbatim of the book, but by comprehension. I don't believe you'll do me no wrong. You bringing me food from this garden, I ate the fruit. Now when God came and hollered at me, because now I have the knowledge, I have shame, I have all this extra shit, when he asked me, I threw it on her. And now we going back and forth. Now we got beef with each other. Before we had perfect harmony. Now we got beef with each other because we say, nah, you hate. And God cast you out. And now y'all niggas would die when you could have lived in all eternity here. Because when I told you that you wouldn't eat it, I said you would die. This is what I mean by death. Now you and your spirit can die as I cast you out of the garden of eternity. You feel me? Now I cast you out of this heaven, of a garden of Eden, because you disobeyed me. Because discipline is very important.
So that's what you exercise your free will to touch that tree of knowledge. It wasn't that bad.
But you didn't know.
It just wasn't the godly way.
But it's one of those sense of, they told you not to do it, but you don't know right from wrong. You was just told not to do something and told to obey. Just like he told you, be here, be fruitful, obey.
Exactly.
Control this shit, take care of it, obey.
But knowing right from wrong is actually coming from the tree of knowledge. You're not supposed to know right from wrong. That's off the rip. You're supposed to know what I tell you. So for even knowing, that's why we start here. We don't just start in the life of eternity because of them, we have to prove our right to be there.
But
which is why if there's a judgment day, that's why there's one of those. Now I have to sit back and go through my life again to see if I live in the godly fashion. If not, I might have to live this shit again.
Now in that, right? So just as we say, you gonna come across those people that's like, oh, you living in the world, you living of the world, because I'm seeing what you're doing, right? Now, those people don't know your conversation with God. They don't know my conversation with God. You get what I'm saying? They don't know your conversation with God. Y'all out there, we not gonna ignore y'all. We know y'all here. So it's in the sense of, I get what you're saying by you just supposed to do what I tell you to do, but if it's God telling you to do it, and granted, not with the crazy notions of God told me to kill this person or shit like that, but if it's God telling you to pursue a certain thing, where people will be like, they prayed on their career, that's why they where they at. You know what I'm saying? Like they really stuck to it and they prayed the entire way, or whatever conversation you have with God, if God is telling you that something is really drawing you to it and you're supposed to do it, nobody else is really supposed to push you away if you continue to stay connected to Him, if you know that the conversations you're having are with Him. You get what I'm saying? So to a man that prays, not just somebody who prays our way or whatever, you feel me? But to a man that prays that he's connected with God, the Almighty, if he acknowledges the same God I'm talking about, then if he's connected with that guy, you know what I'm saying? And he tells you what to do, nothing is supposed to steer you away from that. You know what I'm saying?
Except free will and the choice to use it.
Right. Now, in you choosing your free will and the knowledge of right and wrong, you can't negate free will and the knowledge of right and wrong.
But they
coexist
though.
No, I'm saying you just can't negate the right and wrong part as well.
Yeah, you can.
Because initially, when Adam was connected to him, the conversations were directly with him. I hear your voice in this garden. I talk to you. You tell me what to do. You told me to work. Now you told me, yo, you can chill sometimes. So now I work and I chill. I work and I chill. I work and I chill. Then you say, yo, you can't just do this shit by yourself and you bring your partner. All right, we work and we chill. We work and we chill. We work and we chill. But the funny thing that Dog mentioned in the book is like the serpent must have been in the garden however he got in there. Because Eve never reacted to him like he was a brand new nigga. Nigga just pulled up to you and started talking and you ain't wondering like what the hell going on unless all animals spoke. He already been trying to convince you of certain shit. You was probably able to evade a lot of shit, but then he caught you over here. Who knows?
But we know in the metaphoric form, if that's a word, I'm not even sure.
Metaphorical form.
Yeah, in the metaphorical form, we know who the serpent is.
But the question is, how many times did he try to convince either one of them to go astray before it came to the tree?
If we know of the world right now, and we connected like that, then we know it probably happened a bunch of times. Because if we connected that much, then we know that it happened to us a bunch of times. We live the same life of Adam and Eve every day.
And our mission from God is the same mission that he gave that nigga. Yo, take care of this earth. Love like I love.
He still give you the same, but he still give you the same rules. He still give you that same tree of knowledge, and he still give you the option whether you gonna eat from, where you gonna worry about eating from that tree, or you're just gonna follow his way. Like exercising the free will to know all of these other things is not his. You supposed to know his way, which is not. If we being 100 about it, we exercise the shit every day. Not worrying about. We worrying about the knowledge of knowing politics. We're worrying about the knowledge of knowing. You feel me? A bunch of other things. That's not of what we would say what he's concerned with, basically. Like, it's not worrying about praying and worshiping him every day. You worrying about reading this book that another man created. You worrying about doing this that another man created. It's like, we all get that opportunity. The tree of knowledge of knowing everything. We off the rip. We know right from wrong.
Well, with that.
So now it's like we're gonna give you. I'm gonna let you know right from wrong, or you know right from wrong, or you know what I want, and you know what. You feel me?
But all right, so look how crazy the tree of knowledge is, right? Since we focusing on the tree of knowledge, right? Look how wide the tree of knowledge is. Niggas got so smart, they started discrediting him. See how far this shit done went to where it's like, there's no way he's responsible for what's going on this planet. There's no way he's responsible for all of this shit. So we're going to go figure it out on our own. But we can't even get to what we claim we figured out. We're talking about astronomical theories explaining what a black hole is. explaining where what the fuck is happening 500 eons away in another galaxy. That there's 18 other super Earths floating around. It's like, really?
You're doing everything but talking about him. You're.
But when it comes down to those keen spirits that figure shits out from the Earth to utilize and have the same things that we have, but it comes from the Earth that's an abundance of, they get rid of those people. It's
who is they?
Whoever the fuck get rid of niggas who try to start energy cities and water running cars.
Okay, because it's like that's because they know something that's not of. They getting rid of somebody. If you already say they getting rid of somebody, once again, you exercise your free will to do that shit. That's not of God. Like, you doing some extra shit.
What's not godlike of utilizing the earth versus
No.
Oh.
The person that's taking that person away, because they know something. The more you know, the further you get away from quote unquote God. So
why they see
these people that know about technology and all that other shit, you're not supposed to be even dealing with that. So the more you know, the further you get away from God. The people that do this shit, people that know certain things, they so focused on doing that shit, they not even worried about worshiping God. You feel me? So that's what it is. It's like the tree of knowledge is like it was forbidden because the more you focus on knowing some shit, the more you go away from what I told you to do in the first place.
The further you go from knowing me. And not to sit there and say knowledge isn't supposed to be something that you obtain, but obtain the knowledge that I'm going to give you. Because if you try to know everything too fucking fast, you're going to crash. Not to sit there and say advancements of society or whatever ain't good, but don't make it seem as though if you was forced to live, without all this extra stuff, it's impossible. Because I gave you everything. You have everything here. You made things tough for you.
That's why we don't start off in the Garden of Eden. We got to prove it.
But I said all that to say this, right? In the event that, niggas aren't religious, nobody's out there really locking into a specific faith or anything like that, but you do feel that connection to God. You do know that you can have a conversation with this God. Understand that the closer that you, the closer that you are to Him, the closer that you are to whoever you're supposed to be. You feel me? Everybody ain't meant to evangelize inside the church.
Right.
But everybody can speak on the glory that He brings to their life.
I have my different outlooks on it, so.
Even when
I'll be staying away from. I got my different.
But hey, you feel me? Not to solely say, based on what we learn, strictly from these books,
right?
In a sense,
right.
But you could take the good shit out of a buzzard book. As many books as they made us read in school. Right. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can find something about World War II.
I just look at it as I just take and do what applies to me, man.
Right.
Like, it's not that I'm not into it to the extreme of the way that it's explained in church, but I have my own. Like you said, people have their own connection, their own recollection, how
ways
fit
of
with
going
them.
about it.
So I just have my own ways. Like, I don't look at it in the sense of this person. You feel me? So I don't speak on it as this person gonna do this and this person gonna do that. How everything came about, honestly, I can't tell you. I never want to get into it because whatever somebody gotta tell me, I'm not gonna believe. Aside from that, I just kind of go with everything else. I just do what applies to me. You feel me? Like,
I mean, you've prayed before, right?
I pray all the time, but it's not. It's not
in a traditional sense.
It's not in the sense of me actually feel like you feel me, addressing. I just think of it in some shit like I'm just putting something out there. I'm just I'm centering myself with what I actually want and focusing what I actually want in a way that is in some positive manifesting type of.
So let me hit you with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me hit you with this one, right? So in what you just said, right? Given how I started all this, right? We was created in His image. So you don't necessarily need to be in a church. You don't necessarily need to be nowhere. He's inside you. So even when you sat there and just said that you tried to center yourself, if you feel an energy when you pray that you feel as though you centering yourself, that's you and Him, because you are Him. You get what I'm saying?
I hear that, but I don't resonate with that.
Right.
I resonate with it's me.
Cool.
You feel me? If I'm in the image of Him, then it's me.
Cool.
So I'm centering with me. I'm not focused on me actually thinking that it's somebody actually there, far as other than me. Like I'm centering myself. I'm telling myself what I want. I'm putting it in the air and I'm actually going to work for it. Prayer without actual work is, you feel me? It don't do nothing. So in that sense, whether I pray on it, if I don't work myself, nothing is gonna come about from it.
But
so
you strengthen your spirit when you prayed in order for you to go chase whatever you chase.
Me. You get what I'm saying? Me. My spirit, me. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying that I just don't believe that it's actually another being. It's something like
that's controlling the
like,
was
I
responsible
believe everything that's said, but I just believe that it's all me. So when somebody say God this, God that, God this, God that, I resonate with it, but I don't resonate with it as it being somebody else. You telling me what I should do for me. Because if I sit here, like I said, I could pray for a house, I could pray for this, I could pray for this, I could pray for this. If I don't work for it, I'm not gonna get it.
But say it like this, right?
So if I don't apply myself, I will never get it.
So say it like this, right? So because the numbers are gonna be, off. Because in the event that you have people who aren't spiritual, who don't, really lean towards anything like that, and they just believe in hard work and they go out and they get what they get. And you got other people who feel as though like they prayed and they add the hard work and then they got what they get.
Right.
One person might look at it like, well, I guess your God blessed me, did He? I'm gonna reply, yeah. Unbeknownst to you, maybe you had a that small voice in your head that said keep going, and you like, that's just my conscience. Yeah, I know. But
that wasn't your God. That was His. That's what I mean.
Right. So that's why I
mean.
say the connection that each individual has with God is their own.
That's exactly what I mean.
So however your relationship is,
that's what I mean. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. As far as like everybody is their, everybody is their own. If he made all of us in the image of Him and none of us look alike unless we're twins, then we obviously are our own. So no, my God didn't bless you. Yours did. Because whether you pray for it or not,
He's looking out for you.
He looking out for you because you centered yourself into whatever you successful in. Whether you prayed for it or not, you was there. You manifested it by just working for it with the actions. You didn't say none of them. You didn't pray or none of that other stuff. You just worked.
Was in the right place.
You just worked as God told Adam to do. Just work. So what your God told you to do, whether you pray for it or not, He told you to work. So you just work.
From day one, that's what you was doing. That's what you was meant to do.
That's what I mean. So I'm not like, oh, it's just this one person that, and then it's like everybody see this world. If he created this world, like I just look at it all like as me, because my world is not this person's world. This person's world is not my world. So He created the world for us and on His own. But whatever you make your world, I'm not a drug addict because that's not what I focus my life on. That's not what I built my world around. I didn't get hooked on coke, so my world didn't become coke. So I didn't necessarily create this world for myself.
Right.
So if I work for this, I necessarily created this world for myself. So that's what I mean. I don't really like think of it the way other people think about it. But I ain't gonna say I don't believe it. I believe it my way. That's all. That's all it really is. That's all I think about it. Know right from wrong. I know right from wrong. I know right from wrong. I know positive. I know negative. Good, bad, evil. I know. That's what I know. That's what I stick to. And I would know the wrong way is we know wrong. We know because there's a difference in right
trying
from
to practice the right way.
There's a difference in right from wrong and then your way. You feel me? You could do it the right way, just being positive. You could do it the bad way by doing some shit that's all the way off, or you could just do it your way that's just not the norm. So there's a difference in all of that shit. But no right from wrong. Just stay in my lane, stay positive. I don't do shit intentionally to hurt nobody, so that's not the quote unquote devilish way type shit. You ain't manipulating. You feel me? Shit like that. But yeah.